Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking something that is, well, it's incredibly ambitious. We're going to be decoding the MKA V1.0 strategic roadmap. Now, looking at the source documents signed by J.D. Martin-Doe, this text is super dense. It lays out a multi-sector, multi-billion-dollar vision. We're going to break down this whole execution roadmap step by step, taking a completely impartial look at their development phase and these really specific goals they have across tech, publishing, and agriculture. Let's just dive right in. Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll start off with the MKA development phase, and then we're going to use this TOMTI, or Heaven, Earth, and Human framework to actually navigate through its specific sectoral goals. After that, we'll wrap up by looking at the underlying token financial structure.
Right, so kicking things off with the MKA development phase. Before we even get into what exactly they're building, we really need to understand how they plan to pull it off.
And the whole engine for this development sprint comes down to one highly specific, pretty wild figure, 78%. According to the text, the project is claiming it can hit a development speed 100 times faster than traditional methods. How? By using over 78% AI assistance. They're positioning this massive reliance on artificial intelligence as the literal driving force making this entire roadmap possible. And because of that heavy AI reliance, we're looking at a shockingly tight timeline. The document outlines a 30-day sprint to execute this massive multi-sector rollout. It starts on June 8th, 2026, and the complete V1.0 is slated to be entirely finished by July 8th. I mean, think about that. A 30-day sprint, almost entirely fueled by AI. Moving into the actual goals, we hit the Heaven pillar, which is all about Web3 system training. So what exactly are they trying to build in those 30 days? This first pillar is completely focused on the digital and educational frontier. The source indicates that this Heaven goal is strictly dedicated to setting up a specific educational architecture. Basically, they're planning to package the intellectual property, the IP, for a training course called Sky Gold. And this course is aimed directly at teaching people how to navigate Web3 and the metaverse, serving as this foundational layer for their whole digital education push. Next up is the Earth pillar, focusing on global publishing. So we're smoothly transitioning from the purely digital realm of the metaverse right into their strategy for scaling up through traditional and digital publishing. And their distribution mechanisms here are super specific. They plan to package the IP for a personal brand book titled Rich Vu, and they're publishing it via NXB CND, which is the Ministry of Public Security's publishing house. From there, the strategy is to trade it on Amazon and distribute it across 193 UN countries. The explicit goal here? To generate a massive global user base. Then we get to the Human pillar, which revolves around an agriculture super app. Now, this is where the heaviest operational data lives, and it really grounds the whole project in the tangible, physical world. The core objective here is building the smart super app Sky Gold. The source states this app is specialized for agricultural solutions, but it doesn't just stop at farming. It ties directly into public, transparent cryptocurrency trading. Specifically, they're talking about trading the GOD token on a crypto exchange located in Da Nang. And when you look at the data, it builds into something physically immense. We're not just talking about an app on your phone anymore. The document methodically proposes integrating 155 socialist cooperatives, or what they call regenerative economic groups, spanning across 5 strategic regions. With a minimum of 5,000 hectares per cooperative, we are talking about a totally staggering physical footprint. Naturally, managing that much land is going to raise some serious questions, right? Well, to address this, the venture explicitly claims there will be absolutely zero land confiscation from citizens. Instead, they propose this specific cooperation model operating on a 78-22 ratio. So 78% cooperation belongs to the citizens, and 22% goes to Sky Gold. All right, which brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the token financial structure. How are the AI, the Web3 training, the global publishing, and these massive agricultural ecosystems actually financed? We really need to decode the complex high-value tokenomics underpinning this whole thing. The crucial starting point is the Phase 1 issuance figure. The text outlines an initial release of 50 million USD. And according to the roadmap, that 50 million is equivalent to issuing 500 million GOD tokens right out of the gate. But those numbers escalate very, very quickly. The source links that initial $50 million token offering to a massive real-world asset, or RWA, conversion scale.
It actually cites a total financial integration of $755 billion USD, which is then converted into 7,550 billion RWA tokens.
To even manage that incredible volume, the roadmap notes exactly where these tokenized assets are going to be held. It lists the US Trust, ATG Trust, and Novita Trust systems. On top of that, it outlines its compliance strategy, stating it aims to follow international regulatory principles. Specifically, it mentions adhering to the immutable MAS principle over in Singapore. So, we've walked through the methodology, the specific goals of the heaven, earth, and human pillars, and this frankly massive token financial structure. It is an undeniably dense and incredibly ambitious strategic roadmap. So I want to end this explainer by leaving you with this thought to reflect on. Can a heavily AI-assisted 1-month sprint successfully synchronize Web3 education, a globally published book, and a multi-billion-dollar agricultural blockchain ecosystem? It's a staggering scope on an incredibly tight timeline. Thank you so much for joining me as we decoded the MKA V1.0 roadmap. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll see you next time.